The call for help the galaxy was shaking with fear. For years, the Krather, a fierce and merciless alien race, had been attacking world after world. Their ships burned cities, and their soldiers crushed any resistance. Entire planets were left. In ruins, many species fled or hid, hoping the Krather would not find them next. The Galactic Council, made up of leaders from many planets, grew desperate. They sent out a message across the stars, a call for help. Every advanced race was asked to send aid to stop the Krather before they destroyed everything. The message reached Earth, but Earth was different from other planets. Humans were not known for diplomacy or talks. They were known for their toughness and fierce spirit. They had survived on dangerous planets called Deathworlds, places so harsh that almost nothing could live there. Commander Leo stood in the command center of Earth's orbiting space station. He read the message carefully. The Council asked for peacekeepers, diplomats, maybe some soldiers to help hold the line. But Leo knew the truth. The Krather would never listen to talks. The galaxy needed more than words. Earth did not send diplomats. They sent their best fighters, the Deathworlders. These were humans trained to survive and fight on the deadliest planets. They had faced poisonous storms, giant beasts, and impossible conditions. If anyone could fight the Krather, it was them. The Deathworlders were different. Their training was brutal. They learned to fight with weapons and with their bare hands. They knew how to survive when everything tried to kill them. Earth kept them secret. Not many species knew what Deathworlders really were. As the fleet prepared to leave, Leo looked at the young men and women in their black armor. They were ready. They knew the galaxy's fate might depend on them. "We don't go to negotiate," Leo said quietly. "We go to end the war." The Deathworlders' ships moved silently through space, heading to the front lines. The galaxy watched with hope and fear. They hoped Earth's warriors would save them. They feared what Earth's warriors might do. Asterisk arrival of the Deathworlders. Deathworlder fleet cut through space like a shadow. Their ships were dark and strong, built for battle. As they entered the system of Virion, one of the planets hardest hit by the Krather, tension grew. The skies above the broken cities were filled with smoke and fire. The once thriving world now looked like a graveyard. Commander Leo watched the scenes on the screens inside. The flagship Black Falcon. "Virion is lost if we don't act fast," he said to his officers. "The Krather won't stop here." The Deathworlders did not wait for permission. They landed in the ruins, stepping onto ground where few had survived. Their black armor reflected the burning skies, making them look like ghosts. No one else had dared come this close. Mark, a young Deathworlder, led the first squad on the ground. He had trained his whole life for this moment. His eyes scanned the ruined streets, sharp and steady. Around him, the squad moved like shadows. Silent, but deadly. The people of Virion peeked from hiding places. They had never seen humans before, especially not these fierce warriors. Whispers spread. They don't talk. They fight. Suddenly, the Krather appeared. Hundreds of soldiers rushed to meet the newcomers, confident that they could crush any resistance. But they were wrong. Mark raised his weapon and shouted, "Attack!" The Deathworlders moved fast. Their weapons fired pulses of energy, cutting through Krather armor like paper. The enemy's war machines broke down under precise human strikes. It was not just the weapons. It was how the Deathworlders fought. They used speed, surprise, and unyielding force. Krather soldiers fell before they could understand what was happening. Many tried to run, but the Deathworlders hunted them down. Mark's squad showed no mercy. They had seen what the Krather did to innocent people. Now they were the stormed after hours of fighting. The Krather retreated. The Deathworlders had taken Virion's main city back. Mark looked around. The city was still burning, but hope glimmered in the eyes of the survivors. They stepped out, no longer hiding in fear. Back on the flagship, Commander Leo received a message from the Galactic Council. "Your methods are brutal," the council leader said carefully. "We expected diplomacy," Leo smiled coldly. "Diplomacy did not stop the Krather. We fight because we must." The message spread across the galaxy. Earth's Deathworlders had arrived, and their vengeance was real. Asterisk, the first battle, the news of the Deathworlders' arrival spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, whispers grew louder. Humans were not just fighters. They were unstoppable. The Krather would not give up easily. They gathered their forces for a massive counterattack. Thousands of their ships flew through space toward Virion, ready to crush the human warriors. Commander Leo watched the approaching fleet from the bridge of the Black Falcon. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. "This is their biggest chance," he said. "If we lose this battle, the galaxy falls." Mark prepared his squad. "We've trained for this," he told them. "We fight not just for Virion, but for every world the Krather threaten." The battle began with a storm of fire. Krather warships unleashed missiles and lasers. The Deathworlders' fleet responded with shields and precise energy blasts. Space lit up with explosions, but the humans fought differently. Deathworlders, soldiers, landed on Virion's surface, striking at the heart of the enemy's army. Their tactics were unlike anything the Krather had faced. Mark and his squad slipped behind enemy lines. The Krather machines roared as they chased the Deathworlders, but humans were faster and smarter. They destroyed supply lines, hacked communication, towers, and spread confusion. The turning point came when Mark's squad attacked a massive Krather fortress. The fortress was heavily guarded and seemed impossible to take. But the Deathworlders used their environment, toxic swamps, jagged cliffs, and ruined buildings, to their advantage. They set traps and moved silently. When they struck, was with brutal force. The fortress walls crumbled, and Krather soldiers fled or surrendered. The Galactic Council watched in shock. The Krather, once feared as unstoppable, were now on the defensive. The humans had changed the war dot after the battle. Mark stood among the ruins. "This is just the beginning," he said quietly. "We will finish this war, no matter what it takes." Back on the Black Falcon, Commander Leo sent a message to the Council. "Earth's Deathworlders are not here to negotiate. We are here to win." Asterisk, the Deathworlders' secrets after the fierce battle at Virion. Whispers spread throughout the galaxy about the Deathworlders. Many wanted to know, what made these humans so strong? How did they fight so well against the mighty Krather? Mark was asked these questions often. One day, an alien prisoner, a small but clever creature named Jex, was brought before him. Jex looked tired but curious. "Why are humans so different?" Jex asked. "Why do you fight with such strength and no fear?" Mark looked at him calmly. "We are not special," he said. "We are made strong by the worlds we come from." Jex frowned. "What worlds?" "Death worlds," Mark answered. "Planets where life is hard. Poisonous air, giant beasts, storms that tear through everything. We train there. If you survive on a death world, you survive anywhere." Jex thought about that. "So your strength comes from your home?" "Yes," Mark said. "We don't run from danger. We face it every day. That is why we never give up." The Deathworlders had many secrets. Their armor was light but strong, made from rare earth materials unknown to other races. Their weapons fired bursts of energy that could pierce even the toughest enemy armor. But more than weapons or armor, it was their willpower and training that made them deadly. On Earth, Deathworlders trained in harsh conditions. They learned to fight silently, move quickly, and think like hunters. They could survive with little food or water and heal quickly from wounds. The Krather underestimated these humans. They thought Earth sent weak soldiers, but they were wrong. Commander Leo received reports from other planets. More Deathworlders were arriving, ready to fight. The galaxy began to understand. Earth was not a weak planet. It was a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, the captured alien Jex watched the Deathworlders with growing respect. "Maybe humans are the strongest in the galaxy," he whispered. Asterisk, turning the tide with every battle. The legend of the Deathworlders grew. Planets once lost to the Krather were being reclaimed. The galaxy's hope was slowly returning. More humans arrived from Earth, each squad stronger and more experienced than the last. They moved like shadows across war-torn worlds, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. Commander Leo stood on the bridge of the Black Falcon, watching the endless stars. "We must end this war," he said firmly. "The Crather cannot win." Mark and his squad were sent to the front lines on the planet Krillus, a key stronghold for the enemy. The Crather had built huge bases there, guarded by thousands of soldiers and towering war machines. The battle was fierce. The Crather attacked with everything they had, but the Deathworlders fought with courage and skill. They used every trick learned from Earth's Deathworlds, hiding in the shadows, attacking when least expected, and never giving up. Mark led a daring mission deep into the enemy base. They planted explosives that destroyed the Crather's power supply. Without energy, the war machine stopped moving. The soldiers panicked. The Deathworlders pressed the attack, pushing the Crather back. The tide of the war was turning. Turning the tide with every battle, the legend of the Deathworlders grew. Planets once lost to the Crather were being reclaimed. The galaxy's hope was slowly returning. More humans arrived from Earth, each squad stronger and more experienced than the last. They moved like shadows across war-torn worlds, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. Commander Leo stood on the bridge of the Black Falcon, watching the endless stars. "We must end this war," he said firmly. "The Crather cannot win." Mark and his squad were sent to the front lines on the planet Krillus, a key stronghold for the enemy. The Crather had built huge bases there, guarded by thousands of soldiers and towering war machines. The battle was fierce. The Crather attacked with everything they had, but the Deathworlders fought with courage and skill. They used every trick learned from Earth's Deathworlds, hiding in the shadows, attacking when least expected, and never giving up. Mark led a daring mission deep into the enemy base. They planted explosives that destroyed the Crather's power supply. Without energy, the war machine stopped moving. The soldiers panicked. The Deathworlders pressed the attack, pushing the Crather back. The tide of the war was turning. News of the victory spread quickly. The Galactic Council, once doubtful of Earth's warriors, now praised their efforts. Some species who had ignored Earth before began asking for alliances. The galaxy was changing. Humans were no longer just survivors. They were protectors, warriors who could face any enemy. As Mark watched the sunset on Krelos, he thought about Earth. The harsh planets where he had trained had made him strong. Now, those lessons were saving the galaxy. "We will finish this," Mark said softly, "for all those who suffer." The final strike. The Crather homeworld lay shrouded in darkness, its surface scarred by centuries of conquest. From orbit, Commander Leo watched the massive fleets gather. This was the heart of the enemy. If it fell, the war would end. Teams Alpha and Bravo. "You know the plan," Leo said, his voice steady. "We strike their command citadel, cut off their leadership, and shatter their will." Mark and his squad prepared on the hangar deck of the Black Falcon. Their black armor gleamed under harsh lights. Each Deathworlder checked their gear energy rifles, plasma blades, and compact grenades. No one spoke much. They all understood the stakes. As the assault ships dove into the planet's atmosphere, Crather defense batteries opened fire. Explosions rocked the hulls, but the Deathworlders pressed on. They dropped through a blanket of fire and landed near the towering citadel, its spires reaching into toxic clouds. The ground forces moved swiftly. Mark's squad dashed through ruined streets, using debris as cover. Crather soldiers poured out of bunkers, but they were met with precise, brutal fire. Plasma blasts lit the night as the Deathworlders advanced. Inside the citadel, alarms blared. Commander Leo led the strike team through narrow corridors. The Crather leadership, terrified at the sight of humans in their heartland, tried to flee. Leo and his team cornered them in the central chamber. Mark's squad breached the command center from above. With synchronized precision, they planted charges on the massive power core. The charge timer ticked down as Crather elites lunged at them, but the Deathworlders held fast. "Get clear," Mark shouted, and they raced out just as the core detonated. A blinding flash destroyed the citadel, sending shockwaves across the planet. From orbit, Leo saw the explosion ripple through the Crather fleet. Their ships lost power and began to fall. The homeworld defenses collapsed. The Krather surrender came soon after. Across the galaxy, relief spread. The Deathworlders had delivered the final decisive blow. Asterisk, aftermath, and respect when the news of the Krather surrender spread. Worlds across the galaxy erupted in celebration and relief. On Virion, once ruined cities lit up with lanterns and music. On Krelos, survivors cheered as Deathworlder banners flew alongside their own flags. Even the icy planet Delos, long under Krather rule, saw its people smiling for the first time in decades. Commander Leo ordered the Black Falcon to hover above the Galactic Council's seat world, Aurelian. He and Mark met with council leaders in a grand hall filled with representatives from dozens of species. The air was charged with hope and a new respect for Earth. A council elder named Inari spoke first. Earth sent not diplomats, but warriors. You shattered the Krather across the stars. The galaxy owes you its freedom. Leo inclined his head. We did what had to be done. We did not come for glory, but to protect. Mark stood beside Leo, still in his battle-worn armor. Council members studied him with awe. A small alien from the planet Limera stepped forward. Your Deathworlders are legendary. Our people feared you when you first arrived, but now we rejoice. You saved countless lives. Over the next weeks, humans worked with other races to rebuild. Earth sent engineers to repair Krather damaged worlds, doctors to heal the wounded, and teachers to share technology. The Deathworlders trained allied. Soldiers in survival tactics, ensuring no world would be helpless again. Back on Earth, life changed too. The ruthless warriors who had fought on alien planets returned as heroes. Young humans looked to them with pride. Earth's leaders formed a new interstellar guard, combining Deathworlder skill with diplomatic outreach. They vowed to stand ready if the galaxy ever called again. Mark stood on a high cliff overlooking a peaceful Virion sunrise. He thought of the deserts, jungles, and ice fields of Earth's death worlds where he had trained. Those brutal worlds had forged him into who he was. Now those lessons had brought peace. We showed what humanity can be, he whispered. When the galaxy cries for help, Earth will answer, no matter the cost. And so, in halls of power, and on distant battlefields, a new chapter began. The galaxy, once broken, was united by the fierce kindness of Earth's Deathworlders. Humanity had not only saved the stars, it had earned its place among them.